Hey YouTube land, Tychonders here again doing another action figure review. Now, for this review I'm doing a review of some of the Jaegers from Pacific Rim Uprising. These are the ones from Diamond Select. Now I have to give a shout out to Steve and Arnes from SuperUnimportantreviews. I actually picked these up off them. They were selling off some of the figures that they had. Well, Steve was actually, I think, and I picked these three up. I haven't had any of the Jaegers from the previous film, from the first Pacific Rim, and I just wanted to get a few Jaegers to see what they were like, so I picked up all three of these off him, because he was selling them as a lot. So, from left to right is Sabre Athena, Racer Phoenix, and Gipsy Avenger. So, our height-wise, now unfortunately I didn't get any packaging with these. They were selling them loose, so I don't have any of the boxes. So I can only assume the boxes would have been all kind of standard clamshell sort of packaging, where you could see the figure on the outside. So for height-wise, if I just bring in my tape measure, you have Racer Phoenix coming in at around 7 inches. You have Sabre Athena from the head is about just under 8. Well, if you take the wing pieces at the back, it kind of brings it up to 9. And then for Gipsy Avenger is the tallest out of all of them. I think the wing pieces at the back make it about 8 3/4. Actually, no, just a little over 8, a hair over 8. So it's about 8 inches in height. Now, out of all the Jaegers, I feel poor old Bracer got the rough end of the stick. Sorry about the noise in the background, it's just the dog making some squeaky noises. So he only comes with 2 additional hands, so you have kind of 2 punching, well, one clenched fist hand, one slightly open hand, and then you have 2 open hands. Because it has this kind of big knuckle duster on one arm, or one hand, and it doesn't have the same thing on the other, so like the one hand is more open than the other. The same with the fists. You can see the fists are kind of Botan kind of, they're supposed to be Botan kind of knuckles, but there's a slight gap between the thumb because of the way the hand is designed. And now these things are full of ball joints, so you have like joints on the legs. You have 3 joints here, here, and here for Bracer Phoenix, because of the way it has kind of chicken leg thing going on. So you can get some cool poses. He has toe articulation, he has swivel in the wrist, and there's a hinge. He has single jointed elbows, you can get just a little under 90-degree bends. He has dual joint here in the shoulder and a joint on the outer area of the shoulder, so you can get some good movement. His head is on a ball joint, but it is quite squishy inside in his carapace. He does have waist as well, but again it's slightly hindered by the sculpt. It can go up and down, he can't really go side to side. But and then instead he has the hinge up here for the thigh, and he has his thigh swivel as well. He's a little bit loose on the standing. His legs tend to, you can't completely extend the legs because they want to kind of go back into kind of crouch position again, so you're best off just holding them down a bit. To swap out the hands, it's the same on all the figures. There's a little peg, and just get the right hand, you just push it in, and the hand can rotate depending on the figure. Some of them have kind of easier rotation, some of them have like for Gipsy Avengers, he has these arm plates that will hinder some of the articulation. So here is the standard arm for Gipsy, and the way you swap out the hands, if it just, it's the same idea. You just unplug the hand a bit tight, so you unplug the hand and you plug the hand in like you want, and you have them 2 fists. Now there's only one set of hands that come, or one set of arms that come with a alternate hands, which are these ones that have the plain closed fists or the kind of slightly open paws or open grip. The other hands you have are these 2 chainsaw blade ones. Now the way you take them out is you unplug them from the up at the bicep, or just above the elbow. Unfortunately, when I first got this, I made a boo-boo and snapped. There's a small piece in here. It's actually after snapping off. So I would stress being careful with these. It doesn't have the wrists on these that you can pop out the kind of closed fist, so they always have this closed fist on this one. You have the hand that's on them at the moment, which is the kind of plasma caster, or the plasma cannon. And then you have a plasma cannon for the left hand as well, but it's not as open. So it's kind of like full arc and this kind of small burst arc. And then you have the blade that is very similar to the one that was on the original Gipsy, or Gipsy Danger. So again, it's full of ball joints. You can actually see the ball joint up here where this just pegs onto it. Head is on the swivel, but it's very tight. Waist gets more movement than Bracer Phoenix. You have similar joints on the legs and hips, so you can get some really good posing out of them. If he wants to stand, the legs are on a kind of ball joint, so that you can get good poses. And then the last figure in the wave, or in this wave, this is wave 1. I think they did a wave 2 as well. You get another set of hands, but you also get weapons for Athena. So now the one thing I will say about this one, and it's one of these you can't unsee it kind of thing. It looks like it has a little cat face for Sabre Athena on the chest. You can see the like the two bits up there, eyes, little nose, and kind of eyes, and it just, every time I look at it, it just looks like it has a cat face for it. And you have the same thing where you just plug out the hands, if I can get the hand out, and just plug in the hand rotates. It has a hinge. You got the hinge on the elbow, which has 90-degree bend. You have the shoulder. You also have these bits on the shoulder that can move down as well, so it's kind of additional joints. Head is on a ball joint. Waist has some great range of movement. Same kind of hips that are on the other figures. You can't get her legs up too much because it is a bit hindered. They kind of splay out to the side a bit. You can't get it direct straight up. And you have ankle articulation as well, so they're really cool figures. I can't remember who's in the second wave. I would imagine it's the kind of the green robot, and probably one or two of the kaijus. But overall, they're really, really cool. I do recommend picking them up. Unfortunately, my main reason for picking these up was to have them in scale to the SH Monster Arts Godzilla, but I think they're a little bit too big. The two hands that Sabre Athena comes with are grip hands, and she can hold her swords, hence the name Sabres. Unfortunately, I have a little bit of blue tack on this one because it just slides straight through. So I put a small bit of blue tack just to hold the sword in, otherwise it just slips right through the hand. Whereas on the longer sword, it has a little bit of a hilt, so it will stop at the guard. So you can actually put those in both into our hands. But overall, they're really, really good. So I do recommend picking them up. I will throw a shout out or a link to Super Unimportant Reviews and the Geek Chests channel in the description below if you want to check out Steve and Arnes' stuff. They do a lot of figure reviews as well, and so they do some really fun stuff, and they do some short animation stuff as well, which is kind of, well, not short animation but short skits and things like that as well, so really good checking them out. So all in all, I do like these figures and I do recommend picking them up. So if you do have a chance to pick them up at a reasonable price, I do say go ahead and grab them. And as I say, I hope you enjoyed my review, and please feel free to like, comment and subscribe to my channel. Cheers guys.